The Soybean School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Pride Seeds, Cruiser Max Vibrance, High Stick NT, and the Manitoba Pulse Growers.
All right, we're here at the Manitoba Special Crop Symposium with Debra Mclaren, plant pathologist with AAFC. You just finished up a presentation on root rot specifically, sharing what we know, maybe some ongoing research. A few questions about what, Fusarium, Phytophthora, there's a couple different names being thrown around. Let's focus on soybeans. What should farmers be watchful of in the coming years as far as root rots?
As root rots, as far as what we've found from our preliminary research, we're certainly getting Fusarium species, a little bit of Rhizoctonia, but Fusarium is more predominant, and we are seeing some Phytophthora out there, but the isolation techniques for these organisms are a little bit different. We've had a little more time to do some work on the Fusarium and the Rhizoctonia, and we have seen certainly some species that are more predominant than others. And that's really important because you need to know what you're screening against for host resistance. As far as Phytophthora, that's a different ballgame altogether as far as isolations. It's a very different fungus, and it is something that we know is in Manitoba. It's been isolated from the Crop Diagnostic Center as far as samples being sent in from the growers, but there's really no information out there as far as where it's found, how much is there, the distribution, and so on in Manitoba. So that's part of a package that's been funded by the Manitoba Pulse Growers Association in order to carry on some initial work that we've started, because we really need to know what we're looking at. Phytophthora sojei is the pathogen that's a real problem down in Ontario. We assume that is the one we have here, but we do know that there are some new ones on the horizon that have just been found in Wisconsin, for example. Now, do we have that here or not? We don't know, because we haven't done this complex, complete survey of soybean crops in Manitoba for root rots. So we really need to look at that and see where we're going. And I mean, as anything, with root rots, the best kind of control measure, like the silver bullet, so to speak, is often is really the resistant varieties, and that's something that we need to move towards. Although I do know some work has been done down in Ontario as far as these short season soybean varieties for other locations in Canada.
Right. So resistant varieties would be sort of the gold standard, if you will.
Yes.
What role, if any, might seed treatment play?
There are some out there that will cover off all of these root rot organisms, Fusarium, Rhizoctonia, and in soybeans, some of these seed treatments are also effective against early season Phytophthora. But with Phytophthora, you can get later season infection, and that's where you're going to run into a problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.